Hello, welcome to Salt Rose Tarot. Today I am reviewing Your Tarot Court by Ethony Dawn. The back of the book reads, "Meet the people and personalities of the tarot in a whole new way with Your Tarot Court. This book gives you the confidence you need to tackle the trickiest part of any deck, the court cards." And I agree, and I think most people would agree that the court cards are some of the most difficult cards of the tarot to interpret and to understand. This book was published by Llewellyn in 2019. It has a total of 11 chapters. And there are practices and exercises throughout the book, and those are listed here. It has just a short introduction where she covers some tarot jargon, what she calls jargon, significator, querent. She just kind of explains a few of those terms. Then chapter 1, she goes over the structure of the tarot very briefly and how the court cards fit into that. And then chapter 2 is the court card dated, and chapter 3, titles, gender, and physical identifiers. These are very short chapters, just a couple of pages, but both of these raise some very interesting topics, especially for the court cards. The court cards come from a time when there were very strict societal roles and narrow gender identities. So she kind of raises the question of, what do we do with that today? For many of us, those traditional roles are no longer relevant and they feel restrictive. So she raises some good points. I wish these were a little bit longer chapters because they are very interesting. They bring up a lot of interesting points. And then chapter 4, tarot elemental associations, how the court cards fit into the 4 suits. Chapter 5 is on astrology, the zodiac, and the court cards. Chapter 6, predicting timing with the court cards, another way to use these. I don't particularly read this way, but she gives seasons and days of the week. And then many of the chapters like this one have exercises at the end. And then chapter 7, I have this one tabbed. These are kind of the traditional meanings of the court cards. And then chapter 8, archetypes and the court cards. This is one of the longer chapters in the book where she really dives deeper into the court cards and what they mean and how you kind of perceive them in an actual reading. She talks a bit about Jungian psychology, archetypes, and she mentions the collective unconscious. Archetypes is one of those words that is difficult to put into words. It's difficult to describe. What she says here is, why are they, the archetypes, so important and useful in the context of the tarot? The 78 tarot cards themselves can be seen as visual representations of archetypes, common experiences, relationships, figures, and people in your life. This is one of the reasons why the tarot is so popular around the world. We see ourselves and our loved ones in the cards. We recognize our experiences, shared pain and triumphs, and even the people we loathe in the pack of cards. So this has some really nice illustrations, different cards, different takes on how the court cards are represented. And she talks about the archetype, like this is for the healer with the Queen of Pentacles, and then what that looks like in love and relationships, what that looks like at work and career. So again, chapter 7 and chapter 8, it's a good portion of the book, and I find those 2 chapters very useful. And then chapter 9 is Tarot Court Love Connections, and I'll just read the first line of this chapter. Now we are going to explore in depth how the tarot court card archetypes act in love, relationships, and lust. So to me, it's an okay chapter. I think it gets a little bit stereotypical and I don't know, maybe just a little over the top for me. And then in chapter 10, she encourages you to relate the court cards to common characters in pop culture. For instance, here, the Knight of Swords, the Warrior, Wonder Woman. And then chapter 11, the court cards tarot spread. So she has a tarot spread for each one of the court cards with a series of questions. And she gives instructions here on how to do the spread. You would put the court card at the top here and then answer the questions here with additional cards. And that is it, chapter 11. There's an appendix here with tarot card cheat sheets. So it's just kind of a summary of each of the cards and some of the stuff she covered earlier in the book. So overall, I like this book a lot. It is definitely worth having on my shelf. It's a book I will definitely go back to again and again. And I think this book really gets you thinking about the court cards, who they are as people and personalities. You'll be able to kind of place them better in your life, relate them to different people or to yourself. So this book is a great, not only overview, but just an in-depth study of the court cards. As far as who this book would be good for, in my opinion, any level of tarot reader could get something useful from this book, from a beginner to more advanced. So once again, this has been Your Tarot Court by Ethony Dawn. I hope you found this review helpful. Please like and subscribe, and I will be back soon with another book review.